Autobots, roll out.
Very Michael Bay.
Yeah, it is Michael Bay, Brian. Good to see you on here. Haven't seen you in a while. The bucket might get a little bit of precipitation tomorrow. So here's the deal. This is funny, all right? Davion, obviously meteorologist Davion Huggins. We've got a system that's coming in tomorrow, and if you looked at the models 2 days ago, you would have no idea unless you know, the basically to look out the window.
Right.
What do I always say, Davion? What's the best way to make a forecast?
Look out the window.
And what does that mean? What do we mean by that?
When we say look out the window, we mean what's going on right now at this very moment. What's going on? And you can see we already have showers.
Yeah, look at this. There's already precipitation popping up off to our west. And is that going way south into Louisiana? I don't think so. No, that doesn't look at all like it's moving south into Louisiana. I'll tell you what, absolute pathetic display of guidance from the last several days from the long range models.
Yeah,
global models can't handle this.
GFS was
GFS was good for sucking. Yeah, and I can say that because I'm not on TV. I'm on Facebook. Good for stinking. It was terrible. But first of all, let's take a look here and dive in. So precipitation is coming tomorrow. I think there is going to be some snow. I think there's going to be a band of snow. Honestly, we've been looking at this, and there's been a high resolution model that has been crushing this forecast.
It has.
We'll see how it comes to fruition, but let's look at it. Let's dive in. And Davion, you got all the models loaded up. You got them all ready to go. We're going to get it all fired up here. But here is the water vapor, and look at that system. I mean, that's not going down into the Gulf.
It's not. It's honestly training like just due east.
Yeah, due east. And it's like, the models, Upper Air Sounding Network, couldn't handle the system as it was diving into Southwest Canada.
Right.
It didn't have any type of analysis. In fact, it almost didn't even look like it existed, to be honest with you. But so here's the deal. This system, as it arrives tomorrow, I think does bring a little bit of snow into Northwest Arkansas. Here's the computer models. We're going to go back in time, and there's the low. And you're telling me, like I've been saying the entire time on the newscast, and by the way, you're not going to hear this from anybody else.
No.
Nobody else. They're just going to look at the models, and they're just going to regurgitate exactly what it shows. But if you watch me in the newscast, it's just like, I don't believe this.
Don't believe it. That's too much energy.
Too much energy not to produce precipitation. Well, guess what? They're getting all sorts of winter weather advisories out to the west. I don't think they were expecting that either. I mean, yeah, they're expecting a little bit of snow. But here's this system moving east, and look at all that energy. Yeah, it's an open wave. So what? Yeah, right. It's definitely going to produce precipitation. So I want to do this. I want to look at and show you what's going on. So here is the winter weather advisory that's been issued. Now, there's a chance that this winter weather advisory gets extended into Northwest Arkansas. Me personally, if I'm a betting man,
if I'm a betting man,
Saracen, I'm going to put that on there. And by the way, shout out to our sponsor, our Facebook sponsor, Pascal Heating and Air and Cooling. So we appreciate them. They are sponsoring our Facebook Live.
Nice.
But there's a look at the watches and warnings. You can see that off to the west, and it does not include Northwest Arkansas. But if you look at the models, which we're going to show you, there's going to most likely be a winter weather advisory extended. It really is, honestly, at this point. So winter weather advisory is a little less serious than a winter storm watch, obviously. We got threat for snow and ice accumulations. A glaze. Does a glaze cause issues? Absolutely. Yes, you saw what happened on Monday with Aleshley when she was on. And possibly up to a few tenths of an inch. So we've got some stuff coming. Shall we look at the models?
We shall.
All right, Davion, why don't you run us through this? We're going to switch the weather sources. There's Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler showing the precipitation. I've got the clicker. We can just dive into each one of these. So first of all, what are we looking at here?
This is the HRRR model, high-res rapid refresh model, I should say. And it's going to take you out on the latest run that shows the snowfall. And this really has that strong band that's been, honestly, that's been pretty persistent, showing up over the past few model runs.
Yeah.
Like we said, throughout most of today. Yesterday, not so much, but things are starting to come to fruition.
So first of all, it's not even showing the returns. Now, granted, those aren't reaching the ground, so I agree with that because it's
Right.
too dry. But it's not even showing those returns until 1 a.m. However, we're going to go back to Mega Doppler. Those returns are already starting to pop up. So that might be a little bit before schedule, ahead of schedule, if
Right.
you will. So, all right, now we'll continue to move along here as we get into the early morning hours. This is
There
where
you
we
see.
get frontogenetic forcing, fancy phrase, which basically means rising motion over a upper level front. Okay, and this cold front is not a super strong one,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
not.
enough where those temperatures are going to drop. See, I think the HRRR is a little too warm on the temperatures. Nevertheless, 34 and snowing doesn't sound like a big deal, does it?
Right.
No, but you'll see that, it's getting colder,
It's colder.
right around 33, 32. And even though we're above freezing, we can still have some minor accumulation if it snows heavy enough.
And
That right there
it looks like some pretty moderate snowfall.
looks like moderate snowfall along with the potential for that frontogenetic forcing. Colder temperatures aloft. The models are like, oh, hey, there's a system out there. Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
No shoot, Sherlock, as I like to say. And it didn't help me a couple of days ago, and I've been making the forecast, but I was just like, whatever. So here's a look at Thursday afternoon. That precipitation sticks around. They're Thursday late morning. So I don't understand why that winter weather advisory. I know the confidence is low, and I get that because the models haven't been showing this, but look at that. That's sticking around the whole time.
That's some decent snowfall.
I am spicy, Turd Ferguson, which I love. I love that that name is the best, especially with Anchorman. But here's the deal. Yeah, I am spicy because over the last couple of days I've been calling for precipitation, and I've been racking my head because none of the guidance showed anything, even the HRRR. Now you'll see here. This is the next model. This is the HRRR that goes out a little bit beyond 18 hours. And it still has that band showing up. Now, I will say this. I think everything moves out tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
But that's not set in stone either.
No, it's not.
Because there's a high resolution model that we look at that we have access to. I can show you on this Facebook Live. So we will do that. We'll show you some of the things that it's shown for the last several days because it's been pretty impressive.
Oh, man.
We do need to bring out the 8-ball. What do you think?
I think so, too.
We'll bring out the 8-ball. But all I got to say is that I think this precipitation that's coming in, it's going to verify. And we can see the energy out west. It's a no-brainer.
It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's almost a guarantee. Now, it won't be like, we're not expecting whiteout conditions, no blizzard.
No. It won't cancel school.
Yeah, you definitely still want to take it easy on the roads, especially in the morning hours tomorrow.
But some slick bridges or overpasses. Absolutely. I've been mentioning that, Maston. I think that advisory is going to get shifted.
It's almost a guarantee, especially along and north of Interstate 40.
Yeah.
Like 49. Yeah. Bobby Harper Tunnel might be a little slick at spots. Definitely just want to
exactly. All right, let's get back to the models here because we're going to dive into each one of these and then we'll look at the horizon. So, yeah, black ice is going to be a possibility, but it has to get below freezing. The HRRR doesn't really have that. And then obviously everything moves out Thursday evening. But there's an outside chance maybe another weak wave comes in right around parade time. We'll see what happens. But here's a look at the future track for the NAM 3 kilometer. Now, I will say the NAM golf clap because it did have precipitation yesterday.
It did.
2 days ago, it didn't. But yesterday, at least it had it in there.
It was a little early, even on Monday's storm.
So this is what we've got here as we go throughout the late morning into the afternoon on Thursday. See that band again? It's there.
There it is.
It's there. And we're going to look at model soundings too as well to see what's happening. But there it moves out by late afternoon. And I think that makes sense, honestly. So, all right. Here's a look at the graph 3 kilometer.
Oh, man.
So this only goes out 18 hours, just like the HRRR. Okay? Starting to show bands. And there it is, right along and north of I-40. We've got banding that's going to happen. And it totally makes sense. Now, depending on the extent of the banding is what we'll see.
Right.
But no, we're not going to be out. Springdale School will not be out. This
No.
is not going to be, unless that band really cranks up and we get like some type of crazy, unexpected event.
And then it would come down to timing as well, because this is morning hours as you're heading through your morning commute.
Yeah.
Likely school is already starting in some places, so I don't think they'll try to send you home if it already gets heavy. So
it's going to get above freezing too.
That
So
too.
this is not a school closing. This is not a major weather event. But the fact is, and this is why I'm a little spicy, as Turd Ferguson says, there's precipitation.
There is.
You looked at the models and you looked at the forecast from 3 days ago. There wasn't anything.
There wasn't anything.
Nope.
Now there is.
Not on ours.
Yeah, not on ours.
Not on ours. In fact, we look at the app, and I know I put it in there because, and you might have changed it today, but if we look at the daily forecast, which, by the way, I doubt weather.com even had snow today or tomorrow. But let's take a look here at what they've got for Thursday. So I've got showers possible with a possibility of a little wintry mix. A lot of uncertainty, but I think precipitation occurs. So so there you go. Is the snow tonight? No, it's tomorrow morning. We've been going through all the timing again, and we'll take a look at the timing. But so here's the future track. This is the graph 4 kilometer, and there's that band again. But this actually has it a lot less. So we'll zip through that. European model. Hey, look at that. You finally have at least some semblance of precipitation, because before you didn't have diddly squat.
Yeah, it was bone dry.
And that was kind of frustrating. Yeah. So had a question right here about tornado potential. Not at all with this.
Absolutely not.
However, I will say, before Christmas, the pattern does favor very warm, and if it's progressive, we could get a big trough in the area, and that could lead to some thunderstorms. Yeah. So we'll talk more about 70s, I think, that are in our future next week. But there's a look at the European model. Not much, right?
Not much.
How about the GFS? Let's look at the GFS.
There it is.
Well, lo and behold, what in the world? Where did you come from? It's like you might be looking at this going, wait, this wasn't there before.
It sure wasn't. It was down in Louisiana.
Yeah. So now that band shows up on the GFS too. So there you go.
Confidence increase.
Hey, we got more models, but let's take a look at the snowfall accumulation. So this is Thursday, 5 a.m. And if we go in time, wow, that actually has a lot more.
And this is the HRRR.
This is the very latest one.
This
so I mean,
upwards.
It makes sense. There's a system.
Some isolated areas.
Get a clue, models. There's a system. You can see it coming from a mile away.
Right.
Which I just didn't understand why I didn't have anything.
Yeah, this is very late trending. During my 5 o'clock show or my 5:30 p.m. show, this exact same model only showed about 0.2.
I know, because it realized, oh crap, there's precipitation already out there. I better crank this up. So this is definitely upticking in terms of an uptrending, as we say in meteorology. Now, this is the extended HRRR, and guess what? The extended only updates every 6 hours.
Right.
So that's a little less. It still shows that band of snow across southern Washington County. What about the North American model? And you might want to just scrub through that because it's going to go too far. There you go. So after Friday, late AM, it's only got about
2 to 3 tenths.
Yeah. But more widespread.
It is more widespread.
All right.
Keep going.
Yeah. But you know what didn't was Weather Next, the Google model. I'm gonna bash on that because that also didn't have it in there yesterday. But here's a look at the ice totals. You'll see 1.4. Look at the gem. The gem now is starting to go in line with the HRRR.
It is.
Oh, and did you see that? It's got a little bit of freezing rain and even some snow. I personally think we're in for a surprise with this system. I just do. I don't think it's going to be a major deal, but because you see an inch on there, but honestly, those models never verify exactly what they show. You got to subtract a half inch, to be honest with you.
That's very generous.
And there's also compaction, there's melting, there's all sorts of stuff that goes into. If we look at snow depth, it'll probably be like 0.2 of an inch.
Exactly.
But it's still precipitation. And that's the frustrating thing. Like when you're trying to portray, hey, I think it's going to wintry precipitate, and then you see nothing on there. You see nothing on the forecast, see nothing from weather.com, you see nothing on there.
Then
And
it
it's just like,
becomes
well, am I the only one that's wrong
right.
out of all this?
And that's when you got to trust your meteorology brain. No,
Yep.
not wrong. That was
Does
a lot of
it
energy.
make sense meteorologically?
Always
You
have
know,
to
you
ask
can
that
look at a
question.
lot of other sources. You can watch a lot of other people. They're only going to go off of computer models. They probably won't go off of intuition.
It's following me now.
So, yeah, we're going to stop that. Camera's like, okay, Dan's riding on his high horse. I'll probably be humbled. Make sure you're humble because the weather will humble you.
It definitely
There's
will.
no doubt about that. All right, back to this. So that's the gem. Here's the GFS. Look, they're all showing that precipitation trend.
Even this GFS run right before we started the live, this looks a little more.
This is the 0Z. Yeah. This is the 0Z run. Yep. And then finally the European, even that has that band of precipitation. So BB I don't think is going to see a lot. The system's going to bring precipitation, but it's just not going to be cold enough because that front's going to stall out in the Ozarks. So personally, I think this winter weather advisory gets shifted east. All right, now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have some fun with this because I want to show you this newest model that is actually pretty impressive. And it's called the Horizon 2 kilometer. It's by Climavision. We're the only ones in the market that's testing it right now. Okay. It's a test trial. It's a test run. I want to go back to, let's go to 0Z Tuesday, which would be Monday night.
Right.
So we're going to go to Monday night. I'm going to show you this. We're going to bring this up. And let me make sure that this is the right one. Oh, this is November 25th. You know what, though? It still would show the potential for that yeah.
There it is.
No, that's from last Monday.
Oh, yeah, it was Monday.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. I want to show you this, guys. All right, here's what we're going to do. This is kind of cool, too. We're going to go here. We're going to open screen share. We go into window. We're going to here. We're going to share this. Make sure you can see that. Yep. We're going to put our camera on the screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this full screen with our camera down at the bottom. Nice. So this is called the Horizon, Climavision Horizon AI. It's a 2 kilometer model. And this model, by the way, runs every 6 hours. So it's a 6 hour, 2 kilometer continental US model,
which is powerful.
So this is from, and granted, we got to have the date, but this is Monday, 6 p.m. of last week. Okay. Monday, 6 p.m. of last week. Now you might remember, and we'll go back to this real quick. You might remember the system that came in last Monday.
Right.
I think a lot of people were kind of surprised about the precipitation with that. It wasn't a big deal, but there were some accidents that were on the interstate. There was widespread precipitation that happened. And, not a lot of models showed it. I know the European stunk. I know the GFS didn't have it. The HRRR didn't have it until the day of. So it's another one of these cases, just like last Monday. However, the Horizon AI nailed it. Check this out. This is a look at Monday, 6 p.m. from last week. Okay, so we've got to go through the entire thing. Let's see what it did for Saturday, because we know Saturday there was precipitation, right? So here's Saturday right here. Oh, look at that. It has all that rain, has all the precipitation, has it coming through pretty heavy right during the Razorback game. Right. And then it's got that front coming through, and then it clears it out. Now, keep in mind, this is about a week out. That had it pretty good. And then it got cold, and then it got dry. Then the clouds cleared during Sunday afternoon, and there's some peaks of clouds. And then look at this, Monday. There it is coming in, and that's almost the exact same time that it about moved in. And so we'll do one more frame here, and I think we can get it to like 11. Go right here.
Freezing rain, right there.
It had it. There
it is.
Let me pause it. Stop. Remember, this is just a movie. We're trying to get it implemented into our weather graphics system, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. Let's see. See if I can. It's not wanting to go to that last frame. There.
There it is.
8 a.m. There it is. Look at that. It had it. Now, granted, it showed snow, but it also shows a mix. It shows a mix all over. That is from a week out. November 25th. That's pretty impressive. So what's it doing with this system? We'll take a look here. Going back to the graphics. And I think what I need to do is go into, and I think I have these on here, December 2nd.
Yep.
Okay. So this is Monday when no other models were showing anything, right? Nothing. They weren't showing anything for, yeah. And it even had that band that came through, that secondary band during the afternoon. So let's dive into this again. Ready? Okay. Stand by. Let me add this one to the stage. I guess I have to add a new one. There we go. All right. So this is the Horizon AI. And you're going to see, Denton, you need to see this too. So there's the band of precipitation, and maybe it was a little bit late, but boy, that was pretty good. 8:30, 9:30 that it had. So it had that band, then it cleared it out. It even had a little bit of that fog in Northwest Arkansas, which is what we had. Then let's see on Wednesday, does it have the freezing fog? Look at that. It even has a fog that developed in central Arkansas.
This is high res.
This is 2 kilometer. And it goes out 7 days. So check this out. Thursday morning. Here it comes.
There it is.
Look at that. And there's the band.
There's the band.
And this model was the only one, and I mean the only one that had it on there. And that shows a pretty substantial system, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I was like, the 0% chance of precipitation? What? And I'm looking at all the other ones and I'm like, wow. So this is, again, now it's changed its tune a little bit, but nevertheless, this is from Monday and it's only 4 days, but still, that's got it.
It caught it.
And then it moves out. Now, maybe it's a little overdone, but the fact that it has precipitation, let's see if it has anything Saturday night. There's the clipper system coming in. And look, it's got a little bit. It's got a little bit with that clipper system. And it's got the clouds rolling in. Look at that. That's probably going to be a mist and drizzle on Sunday.
Yep.
So anyways, hey, I don't know about you. And you know me, I love blasting models. We'll see what happens. But the fact that it showed something and nobody else did is impressive. So that's a 2 for 2. Let's look at some of these comments here. How's the weather looking like for the Rogers Christmas Parade on Friday, December 5th? Great, beautiful, no problems there. You're going to have great weather on December 5th. What do we got? Upper 40s?
Yep, upper 40s, lower 50s.
Yeah, it'll be a little colder at 6 p.m. for the parade, but yeah. How's Highway 21 from Newton County to Clarksville looking? So, that's a little higher terrain. It is a little colder right now in Harrison, just to let you know, and in Clarksville. So Highway 21 could see some stuff. Right now, take a look at these temperatures. That cold front is coming in. 35 in Cassville now, 33 in Harrison, and then you've got temperatures that are 34 in Clarksville. So it's colder weather. Is work going to cancel for tomorrow? No, work's not going to cancel. Yeah, it's going to dry out heading into Friday. Thank you, Leslie. Leslie popping on here.
Nice.
Surprise, the 0Z catching on to the returns showing up now. Yeah, imagine that. Thanks a lot. Thanks for nothing from a few hours ago,
right,
when I'm in the middle of my newscast.
in the middle of live.
trying to display what's going to happen. Look at all that precipitation out to the west.
It's coming in.
Could be a sneaky system.
It's moving faster, too. I didn't.
Mike says this one. All right. I still remember the snowstorm February 2011, February 9th to be exact. Absolutely no one knew or expected to get 2 to 3 feet snow overnight. It wasn't 3 feet, but it was 2 feet.
Right.
But I will say this, Mike. I expected 3 to 6 inches. which was triple of what the forecast was, which was 1 to 2. And we got a massive mesoscale accident is what we got.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was amazing.
Imagine.
It was so what happened is number one, it was a northwest flow.
There it is.
You gotta know. Very cold, and there was a deformation zone that's set up right over us. Now, what was wild about this snow event, Mike, is that there was a time when it was snowing so heavily over our heads, but nothing was reaching the ground.
Oh, wow. It was that.
It was a 45, almost 50 dBz on the radar, and it wasn't hitting the ground yet. And I thought, well, crap, is this whole band going to move through without any of it accumulating? So I go inside. I have to go across the street to help my neighbor.
Right.
They had some reptiles.
Okay.
So I went across the street. I helped. They were out of town. At 2:30 in the morning, I get home. I feed their turtle and and spray the frog with some water.
Okay.
And the Van Zants. And as soon as 5 minutes I was in there, I came back out in 5 minutes. Everything was covered in white.
Wow.
I mean, like it looked like it snowed for an hour, and it's only been 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh boy!"
He said, "Uh-oh,
oh boy,
time to up that forecast."
But I know you don't care about last week, but oops, sorry about the cuss word on there. But Aaron, I know you don't care about last week, but you do care about the forecast, and I'm portraying how last week that system that came in at the end of the week into Monday of this week,
the models
it showed it.
Yeah,
it showed it. So that's why we're just doing some verification. Oh yeah, you could do E and advance it. You're right. Good point on that. I forgot about that. Could go frame by frame.
Yeah.
The old Fayetteville Fizzle has us all saying that. Yep. Nope. Nobody can look at it. It's unless you pay for it. And right now we're in a beta test phase of it. Bentonville district field trips tomorrow. Lots of kids on the move. Yes, I think it will be safe. By late morning, temperatures will be above freezing. However, in the morning hours, and we're talking early morning, I don't think there's going to be everywhere is going to be just dry. Right. I think there's going to be some slick spots.
There will be.
Northwest Arkansas going to get some snow. Yep. Rogers, not a little bit. I don't think we get 16 inches. That's not
nowhere near that.
The horizon does have accumulation totals. It does, and in fact, we could show that. Yeah. And here's the accumulation total. Let's see here. This is when it lowered.
Yeah.
I've got. I'm gonna have to do it on a different computer. Hold on just a second. Here's what I can do. Downloads. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. I really want to get it into our system so we don't have to keep doing this. I don't know what that is. Man, go to date. Hold on just a second. While we're doing that, go ahead and answer some of these other questions on here. Oh, Davion, what are they saying?
Hey, Davion, you're eventually going to have to learn how to do things without the suit coat on, especially when it's severe.
It's going to have to roll up the sleeves.
Yeah, roll up the sleeves and get a little dirty. Yeah, definitely going to have to
copy.
Oh no, I'm going to move the story on Dan feeding turtles and spraying frogs.
Yep, I had to do that. I had to help out my neighbors.
I just got on, didn't know this was happening. How many inches? And Dan said,
"Oh, it probably will be around or just under an inch.
Yeah, at very most, probably.
Very most an inch,
and that's very generous.
But look at Mega Doppler again.
There it is.
Go to it.
Max 1
No, I'll do that one right there. Look at the Precip really starting to fill in.
It's coming
out west. So
this is out ahead.
oh, it's way out ahead.
This is way out.
I mean, it's not even close to, being in the area. So let's go to okay, I want to go to the snow accumulation one that I have. Let's see. Before I share it, I want to make sure that it's right. Okay. Local snow. Nope.
just a
Nope. Nope. No. That's when it started back trending.
Yeah, pump faking.
Yep.
And like you talked about it in the news.
Pump faking all the time.
Trying to get us to jump.
Where was that one? I guess I never did. I know I saved it. It might be over on this machine.
This one right here.
Oh, maybe it's this one right here, 18Z. Yeah, I think it's the 18Z. Yeah, there you go. 18Z. So here's the snow accumulation. We'll load this up real quick. And keep in mind, this isn't a very good color table, but it kind of showed that band, and then it kind of dissipates it in the river valley. But nevertheless, it had the higher elevations of Newton County picking up a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a winter weather advisory all across the area. So, yeah.
I just don't, especially all across the area, definitely, but I just don't see them not extending this to far northwestern Arkansas.
No.
Along and north of Interstate 40. I just don't see it not getting extended there.
Yeah.
And damn, you just snow tie.
Yeah, Bella Vista isn't going to see as much because it is a little bit farther south, but nevertheless, I think Bella Vista will see some. So let's run through, for those that are just on here, let's kind of take you through my newscast and show you what's going on. So this is, if you missed it, this is what we've got. So here's the cold front that's starting to move in. Look at all that precipitation. Are we in for a surprise, man?
It might be.
It's been snowing a bigger system.
It's been snowing in the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles for the past 6 hours.
Yeah. And did they really expect that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I wasn't watching their forecast, but there's the system, and there's a lot of lift out ahead of the system, which makes sense. Here's the winter weather advisory. It does not include Northwest Arkansas. I talked to the Weather Service. I said, are you extending this? They said there's uncertainty with the precipitation if it extends east, but there's a good possibility that it will be in the morning hours. And when the new shift comes in at 4 a.m. Or at midnight, they'll look at that. So they go midnight to 8 a.m. But here's a look at the winter weather advisory from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that's for Oklahoma. So this winter weather advisory could last a little bit longer. Here's a look at the future track. Again, cold front moving in. See the temperatures dropping. We get down to about 27 in Northwest Arkansas. So there could be even worse conditions the farther north you go in Benton County, where we're talking just a few more slick spots on the roadways. That band is coming in, though. I think that snow band is going to develop frontogenetic forcing. Here's a look at the HRRR. So this is something new. This is a brand new model run, and we'll put it into motion, and you can see right around 3-4 o'clock in the morning,
there it is.
It already starts snowing. And that makes sense looking at what's happening out west right now with that lift.
You can see the wet bulb happening on this model.
Yeah. So wet bulbing, if they don't know, you can tell them what that is.
Essentially, we have snowfall that's not reaching the ground. So it's falling as what we call virgo. And what that means is it's evaporating before it reaches the surface. But what it is doing is cooling down the air around it. So that will allow, and it snows in the higher atmosphere, it's evaporating but not reaching the ground. It will cool the temperatures down and once it cools down just enough, it will allow that snow to start reaching the ground. So some of this may start off pretty light, not reaching the ground, but if it's heavy enough, it'll blast right through there. That's pretty interesting, because that looks like a pretty decent band.
It does. And then look, it still sticks around. And then look, another burst that comes in. And That's going a lot longer now.
It is going longer. It's the newest run.
And this is funny because I don't know what everybody else was saying, but models didn't show anything. So if they're going off of the models,
sorry,
you lost. Except for one model. And I know that Denton is working on the weather next. We'll see what happens. Can I show southeastern Kentucky? Yeah, I can. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom out on that. So what I'll have to do, that the numbers might look a little bit jumbled, but we could show southeastern Kentucky. And well, that's not, obviously you're not going to get any precipitation at that point. So we got to look at something else. We got to look at the GFS. So let's zoom out on the GFS here. What are they calling for in southeastern Kentucky? Interesting. Yeah, not a lot. Well, there it is right there. So according to this, it shows Thursday night into Friday morning. And that might be pretty realistic.
Oh, look at that. It keeps going.
Yeah. And then it kind of fills in. Well, the system is organizing, and it's obviously strong. And if we go back to the vorticity, we'll show you that. So snow late tomorrow night into Friday morning. There you go. Yep. See, I don't know about the cold air. That's a good question. Are the models underestimating the cold air? That is, I think it's okay on that, but you know, it's not cold now, but I think it's going to be pretty close to freezing.
Yeah.
So
right at slightly above in parts, maybe a few hours. Again, down.
In the Peter Pender area, yeah, in central Franklin County. It's like I said, man, this winter weather advisory could extend all across the area. Yeah. This could be a sleeper system, as I like to say. There's the temperature trend, though. Let's show you this. This is what we've got right around 32 at 1 a.m. We get down into the upper 20s by 7 a.m., potentially, and then we climb above freezing. But honestly, if that precipitation continues, Davion,
we might be dropping those.
We're not going to be staying in the mid-30s.
We'll be closer to freezing.
Yeah. Just like what we were on Monday. Exactly. Same thing.
It's like almost like twin systems, just slightly faster.
Yeah. Yep. You got Davion's name spelled right. Caitlin nailed it.
Oh, yep. Perfect.
Nailed it. So anyways, let's go back to this real quick. I want to show you the water vapor. It's such an impressive system. And what's funny is we're going to go back. I'm going to go back, get the text off the screen. There we go. Let's go back 48 hours. And let's see when the models were looking. So this is what they got right here. This is all they were seeing was this thing. And I'm like, but it's going to organize.
It is. It's digging.
And I'm like, where is this system from the south coming that everybody's saying is going to be here? And I'm like, I don't see it. Yes, they are going to get rain and storms down. There's no doubt about that. But this system is moving east. That's not diving straight south. We'll put that into motion.
Yeah, that has an east draw.
There's a lot of rise. Look, there's rise in motion right here over Oklahoma. Right at this point. You can see it right there. Pretty impressive rising motion too.
Wow.
So anyways, here's the vorticity. Look at all that spin in the atmosphere. And that's making its way right across, like you said, Kentucky. So remember, the precipitation, this is a common misnomer with this, but you see that spin in the atmosphere, and it's what happens out ahead of it.
Right. All the precipitation.
All the rising motion is ahead of that spin. It's not right over it. It's ahead of it. You know, that is a good question. What should we? Let's look at some model soundings. I could bring up the good old buff kit, but instead we'll do this. We'll bring up pivotal weather.
Me and Leslie were talking about that earlier.
It's so clunky though, man. They need to make a new one. Let's do this. Stand by. Brendan, we are going to look at some soundings because I want to look at that myself because considering they've been not showing anything and now all of a sudden having a bunch of precipitation. So let's do this. Let's go to I haven't shared this yet. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Wow, this is going really slow on my end. Let's wait here. That's kind of brutal. The beard, Richard, is gone. I had to get shaved off. Oh, here's a question here. Just join. I'm coming up there for a concert at UARC. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
There'll be because that concert I doubt is in the morning. It's in the afternoon,
Yeah,
evening.
Yeah.
All right. Finally. Thank goodness. Why is this taking so long to load? Let's go regional. Go to South Central. Let's go to precipitation type. Let's go to forecast loop. Let's close that out. Nah, that one changed, didn't it?
It did.
It still got it though.
That band, yeah.
Okay, so and it's all snow. Look at that.
It is all, yeah. That's
So why is it all snow? Or is it truly all snow? Let's see. I know you can't see this yet. Oh yeah, that's all snow.
Yeah, that's all snow.
That's all snow. It's a wet
Yeah,
snow.
it's pretty moist. Yeah, that was
All
a
right,
moist
Let me show you what we got here. We're going to go to right here. There we go. All right, so here is the computer model sounding. Shows 35 at the surface, so I think that's a little too warm.
Yeah.
That is at 11Z. I don't know if I agree with that. But look, that's saturated all the way aloft, and so if we go here, possible precipitation type is snow. Makes sense. So it'll be snowing wet. Look at the temperatures aloft. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead a little bit forward in time to this point. That might be a heavy snow.
Yeah, that looks a little, it's saturated.
Look, that's saturated all the way through the dendritic growth zone. The dendritic growth zone's right here, negative 12 to negative 17 degrees Celsius. And you'll see right here, look, it says the depth, layer depth is about 2,374 feet.
Yeah.
Snow from 550. So basically, it's saying the entire column is snow, and that makes sense.
And that's why it looks pretty decent on the turns.
Yeah. And then we'll go forward a little bit, and let's see when it dries it out. So this, I don't know if this is going to happen necessarily. I don't think that drying out, that partial drying out looks to be happening, to be honest with you. That doesn't make sense to me. Let's look at some other models. Let's look at the NAM 3 kilometer. This doesn't have much of a band at all. Well, it's different. Models have different like levels and ranges and stuff like that in terms of dBz, and color scales. But let's go back here. Let's just pause it right here. That's too late. This is way too late.
Yeah, this is slow.
Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, no,
that's wrong.
That's way too dry.
Way wrong. And then right here, that just shows a little burst and band. But even then, that shows it dry.
Still dry.
Still has snow in the dendritic growth zone, but it's not impressive. So, yeah, that's not happening. Let's take a look at another one here. How about the ARW? Look, shows that band.
There it is. It's consistently showing.
And it's all right in southern Washington County. So like the Bobby Hopper Tunnel could get a little slick tomorrow. And temperature's 31. So that's a little bit colder.
Yeah, it is.
What an interesting day, man. And look, Mega Doppler already starting to show snow to our northwest.
Wow,
so
it is.
Check this out.
North of Tulsa.
There it's got it. North of Tulsa. Now keep in mind, this is probably not reaching the ground.
Yeah.
But anyways, to sum that all up, I think that winter weather is coming our way tomorrow morning. And I think that Yeah, I think we got some snow headed our way.
Yeah, might be. I think so.
Here's the snow accumulation that the models have. And I think this is kind of interesting considering they're all showing that band, at least of some sort. European still doesn't have a clue. There you got it. European, GFS, and the NAM. Bella Vista won't get much. I don't think that band is going to set up across Benton County. I think it's like southern Washington County, northern Crawford, right at the foothills of the Ozarks. So I-49, Bobby Hopper Tunnel area, I think that's going to be the most. Springdale probably won't get a whole lot either. Now, this is what the models are showing, just in case you're wondering. We'll take a look here. This is the latest HRRR. And see how Bella Vista, a little bit too far north, Seligman, Rogers, maybe a slight dusting.
Right.
Snow depth is going to be a lot less, so be ready for that. Yep, I'm going to go to bed too as well, Melinda. We're going to shut it down here real soon. But anyways, I thought that was interesting. Wanted to provide that live update. Things are definitely, let's just say, escalating.
Yeah, that precip is filling in.
It's filling in big time. And it is way before. I know I'm going to wake up to a winter weather advisory being issued for Northwest Arkansas. I just know
it's almost
that's probably going to happen.
It's a given.
Let's say we close it out with the 8-ball, shall we?
I think we shall.
All right, let's do that. Someone says, looks like we'll see anything from wet up to potentially half an inch of frozen something or another tomorrow.
Frozen something. That's a good way to
That's
put
a good
it.
way.
It's a very good
way
way
to put it.
Can't stress. Just make sure you're taking it easy on the roads tomorrow.
All right. Davion, you asked the question here. I'll shake the 8-ball here. How you doing, 8-ball? Slap you around a little bit. You haven't been around in a while.
I want to ask if we get more than
okay.
inch of snow.
All right. And anywhere in our weather coverage area?
Anywhere.
Okay,
Anywhere.
so ask it.
Do we see more than an inch of snow anywhere in our coverage area?
The answer is, of course. Reply hazy, ask again. Guess I smacked it around a little too much.
It's loading up.
Yeah.
Do we see more than an inch of snow anywhere in our coverage area?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. At exactly 12 a.m.
There you go. And it says, yes, definitely.
You heard it here first.
Maybe I smacked it around a little bit. No, we don't have the squeaky chairs. Richard got rid of those. Got some upgraded when we got our new weather lab, so no more squeaky chairs. They don't squeak.
Wow.
Let's see. I got a question for it. Are there going to be issues on the roadways tomorrow morning for the morning commute in our weather coverage area? Cannot predict now. Of course you can't. We'll see. I will say this, Kendall. The 8-ball did lie one time about a tornado in our coverage area. It was just outside of it, but it wasn't quite in our coverage area.
Very technical.
Yeah. Are there going to be issues on the roads tomorrow? Anywhere? Go to bed, Ryan Vaughn says. This is how we forecast, Ryan, is the 8-ball. My sources say no. So anyways, it says that there probably won't be a whole lot of issues. But honestly, Ryan, you gotta love this, man. We were doing some testing of a computer model, and well, I'll tell you, it's done really well compared to all the other ones because models didn't have a whole lot of precipitation at all for this system at all. And obviously, I think some light snow is going to be developing tomorrow morning. Models have been showing this. There's a band across our area, and it's going to be across southern Washington County, northern Crawford, Sequoia, and I think this winter weather advisory gets extended tomorrow. So
it's almost a given.
Good to see Ryan Vaughn on here. That's a privilege, man. But yeah, models really struggled with this system. Okay. All right. Will the Region 8 area,
okay.
8-ball, get a accumulation? Yes, you can count on it. There you go.
Heard it here first.
All right. You can count on it, Ryan. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the horizon's pretty impressive. Let's leave you with this. I'll show you one more run from, and I want to show you the one that what really blew me away was how much precipitation it had for. Okay, is this it? There's one that gets, yeah, that one's not good because there's that glitch with the precipitation.
Yeah.
That they have to fix. But this was, yeah, here you
There
go.
it is.
We can do frame by frame. All right, so let me go back here. Let me share this real quick. So this is the Horizon Climavision AI. You're going to notice this is Thursday morning. Look, it has that precipitation coming in. Now keep in mind, this is the forecast from Tuesday, so a couple of days ago, or yesterday, should I say. And it has that precipitation. That keeps it around a lot longer.
It does. That was 7:30, 8 p.m.
8, 9, maybe this sticks around a little longer. I personally think it'll be out by early evening. But that definitely looks like accumulation for the Region 8 area. So yeah, we'll be watching closely. All right, guys, that is going to do it. I'm going to be headed out along with Davion, but yeah, I know. As of now, it's made it a believer out of me, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But make sure you watch meteorologist Josh Rugger tomorrow. If you don't have our Weather Authority app, make sure you download that. That will give you the latest information. Again, we're going to have, I think, that precipitation coming our way, and there's going to be some issues. So iDrive Arkansas, always a good resource to have. Let me show you this real quick. So scan that QR code or take a screenshot of that, and then you can go to that QR code. That gets you our weather app, where we're going to be updating the hourly forecast, the daily forecast, and I think we could have a sleeper system on our hands tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to watch. So keep it here with your Weather Authority, and we'll keep you updated of all the latest weather information. Take care, guys.
Have a good night.